Oh boy. Wrapped in. It's finally coming, boys. 1 month away from Wuthering Waves, and the excitement is really like it's really up there. But let's first talk about what Wuthering Waves is. So Wuthering Waves is basically a gacha game, open world gacha game. If you don't know Genshin, you basically it's open world. You go around, collect chests, do some puzzles. There's a story quest, a lot of talking, a lot of yapping, some cutscenes, really cool cutscenes. Like the animation is really good. So if you like that type of game, it's gonna be really good for you. I don't know. I've seen the story. It doesn't look that interesting, but I have hope for the future of the game and the future of the story. Like they can improve the story even more once they release new regions, new areas, new characters that are even more interesting than the current ones. I am going to enjoy the game a lot for the combat and the difficulty and like overcoming that difficult challenge. And once they start releasing characters that destroy the difficulty of the game, it's gonna be really hard to stay with the game. Especially when the story is really mid. Like I've seen the story, or like I tried to see the story. It's interesting. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening, but it doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look unless which is something that is going to be a guaranteed, which is the story is going to improve over time, 100%. And I do think that the first patch of Wuthering Wave is going to be the worst patch of every patch, because or not the worst patch, there are going to be dry patches, obviously, but I'm talking about just the overall quality of like the story, the combat, the characters, and everything. It's going to be the worst, lowest one, in terms of just quality and quantity and everything, and then it's going to increase and become better, based off of what I've seen, because they've already rewritten the story, allegedly. They've said it, but we don't know how it actually is, or if it was really implemented in a good way. Also, another thing that I wanted to say was the combat. Like I said, the combat looks good. The future updates, I am looking towards the future updates and seeing what they actually are going to look like, what they're gonna add. We already know, like basically they're gonna add some of the stuff that we already know that is already in the game that is going to continuously update it, like bosses, quests, areas, game modes. But I do hope that they add more, like new end-game content, like Starrail. Starrail just announced that they're adding like a new game mode, like a boss rush, I think, and another like a complete overhaul, or like changes to the simulated universe, which is insane. I want that level. I want levels of content and consistency, and like I said, the big three: the consistency and quantity and quality. Now, the biggest thing for me in Wuthering Waves is that it has really good combat. Like the combat is the number one focus for me, and I hope they really deliver on the combat. And my experience with the game is going to be like everyone else. It's based off of what the characters you get, basically. Like if you want to call Charo and you don't care about any other character in the standard banner, you're gonna get absolutely wrecked if you don't get him. They did say, or there was a leak that said, or a post that said that there is a possibility of a 5-star selector, which is cool. And you can like select one of the 5-star banner characters. If that is like the case, then I'm 100% locked in, like 100% locked in. I've already thought of like a couple of game modes that would be really cool, like PvP mode. I think PvP would really work well with Wuthering Waves, and let me explain. So basically, imagine you have a game that is you can wail to make a character really broken, very strong. You can one-shot any enemy. But if it's a game like that, but it also has skill where you can dodge, block, and parry. So whenever, like, let's say, whenever a very skilled player faces an extreme wail, and let's say the wail does like an attack that can one-shot the character, or the free-to-play, but like really expert player, he's gonna be able to block and dodge 90, if not all the whale's attacks. But let's be honest, there are a lot of whales that don't know how to play. They wail for a reason, but not all of them. let's not disrespect the whales too much, since they are the ones that are keeping the game alive. Obviously, I'm not gonna be completely free to play, like, so I'm not shitting on the whales. I will be spending once I fully, like, I feel like I've reached a stage where I can defeat all contents in the game. I am going 100%, like, just spend money to get the characters that I like. And I feel like the new gacha games that are releasing, that's how you should treat them. You know, you play for them free to play until you beat the content or you're happy, and either that or you just spend with moderation. I always say spend with moderation, and I will continuously say, because like getting C6 is not good. Like it's not a good image for anyone. Like unless you're a content creator and you're making the money back. Which, in case even that, like you can still make the money and like double the money even, without getting a C6. Like it's just waste of money, and even the developers that developed it know it's a waste of money. It's literally just more numbers, or like, and if it's not more numbers, they're like fixing a character that is broken, which is like the constellations complete a character or add to the character, or like fix a character, which is bad. We don't want that. We want to make sure that when you get a C0 character, that it's a character that the character is complete, and they can easily make characters that are not complete at Z0 that need either a weapon or C1, C2, or C6. I don't even, you know what? I didn't check if there's actually C6 or like there's C10 or C5. You know, constellations. When I say C6, I mean just constellation dupes. Dupes of the characters. Just make sure you don't get dupes. And don't spend money to get dupes, because that is where the gambling lies. That's why people say the game is really bad. Gacha games are really bad because they want you to summon for duplicates of the character, and or they not incentivize, but like trick you to like spending money on something that you don't really need, which is the scummy part of the gacha game. Like I don't mind grinding the game and obtaining summons to pull a character, but I do mind when they are forcing me to or not forcing me, they are trying to incentivize me to pull one then more of the same character. So something that I am kind of afraid of for the game is the grind. It does look like it will be like grindy, a lot grindier than other games, because you have to actually go around the world, explore. Like in Genshin, I never did the artifact route farming, where you go into the world and start farming artifacts from the world so you can level up the artifacts that you actually farm for. So you're actually farming 2 times. You're farming the open world and you're farming the domain sets. I'm not gonna do that. I barely farm. I farm a lot of domains, obviously, because I like the gamble side of what is it called, the artifacts. And in Sorrow, all I do is farming artifacts. It's a fun, once you get that 1 in a million artifact, it's really fun. Now, in terms of what they can do to improve the game, I do think a relic system could be nice. Or a way to obtain those gear in a much easier way. Also, anything that is tedious or that has to be farmed, make it easier to do or faster to do. I would like to see a game mode where the first time you fight a boss, it's super hard, but now after that you can lower the difficulty and still get the same amount of rewards and just completely destroy the game. I think that would be cool, especially when you have to farm the bosses every week, or fight some domains that have really difficult enemies or a large number of enemies. But farming in Wuthering Waves does look like it's going to be more tedious. I hope that they add a character in the future, or a mechanic where once you ensnare or poison an enemy and they reach when you have a chance to insta-kill the enemy. I think that would be really cool. A poison enemy, or a dot enemy. That if they reach a certain number of dots on them, you instantly kill them like a passive. That type of character would be cool, because all you need is Just characters that can apply dots. I don't know if there are dots. I don't think there are dots in Wuthering Waves, but it is. They're probably gonna add some dot characters and off-field characters can also. So, 1 month. It is coming in 1 month. I'm excited. I will be playing it. Maybe I'll stream it if my channel grows in a month. If it doesn't grow and I don't see a lot of, I'm not gonna force myself to stream. Also, I do need a better camera, better microphone. I can't really stream with this microphone. Maybe I can. Who knows? But I do need like a new camera. Possibly upgrade my PC as well as I find like or as I get as I work and make more money. I'll probably do that as well. Yeah, but for now, Wuthering Waves looks interesting. It's one of the most hyped gacha games currently, and the most anticipated gacha games out. Other than that, like you have other games like I said, Project Mugen, ZZZ. We had Azure Pomelia that looks insane. Although I am not really excited because for that, in terms of like the characters don't look that great for me, or they don't look like that interesting. I'm more interested in the very cool male characters. That's why I want like Kulcharo, or why I main Wyatt Esley in Neuvillette in Genshin, and ZZZ. I'm excited for the Anton. He's going to be my main in ZZZ. Although a lot of people hate him, I think he's really cool. So, for final remarks, I would like to say, or to conclude the video, I'd like to say that obviously I'm going to be free to play in Wuthering Waves 100%. There's no reason to spend money on a game unless you want every character, and if that's the case, go for it. But make sure you're doing it in moderation, like always. Moderation is the key to enjoy something. If you do it in moderation and don't play a game, if you watch, let's say you watch a movie. If you watch a movie one time, it's gonna be good. If you watch a second time, it's okay. Third, fourth, fifth, you're gonna hate the movie after the 5th or 6th time. So yeah, just moderation. Make sure you don't spend a lot of money and only pay for stuff that is guaranteed. So if you're guaranteed and you have the money to spend and get the character, go for it. The weapon banner is guaranteed, so you might not need to spend like $100 to get the weapon. You can just spend $10, $20 and get the weapon, which is probably what I'm gonna do after a couple of months of playing, if I beat the game completely free to play. So yeah, I'm excited for Wuthering Waves, and yeah, that's the video.